Hey, welcome back to another Lazy Great Vault opening. Starting with the DK this week. I tried to get as many different slots as I could. I've been generating as DPS specs because a lot of times that's the that has a lot of really good trinkets for me. We got some shoulders that I don't need, a trinket that I don't need, and a ring that I don't need. Feels bad. I guess we go for this and go see if we can go grab a socket. That in our belt or our... Can we grab sockets from here? Add to socket. What are we socketing? Probably just go with our belt for now. And we'll go grab a Haste Averse Gem for that. Energized Ephemeral. Ephemeral. Energized. Oh, there it is. So we'll put that on our most of the light. Buy one of those and we'll toss it in our belt. That'll be a small upgrade. I should talk a little bit more about why I didn't want any of those, because I already had the shoulders at Hero Track. The ring, I won't be replacing either of these rings for a long time. I need to get an Aerodong ring eventually. But until they nerf this ring, I won't be replacing it. And crit verse aren't necessarily the best stats for a Blood Death Knight. And what was the last slot? There's a ring. The shoulders. I don't even remember what the last slot was, but I didn't need it. All right, on to the Brewmaster, which I should have upgrades for pretty much every other class, maybe. And again, we'll probably be opening most of these as a DPS spec, because a lot of the trinkets this tier, there are some high value defensive trinkets, but I think most people are running offensive trinkets as tanks, except for very specific fights. Alrighty. Alright, so Netherian's Call to Dominance. That's the heroic rare trinket. That's a hard one. That's an upgrade. Basically going from champion track to hero track for that. Drape of the Drakthir Trials. It's just a hero track cape. I don't need it. An Iridius Fragment. I don't know if that's good for... I don't think it's good for Brewmaster, but I'll look. 444 leather hands. Definitely an upgrade. And a mutated magma. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a sim on this just to see what the base, if anything, would be a real big upgrade, you know? Because I might, this trinket might actually be really, a huge upgrade for DPS wise. So we're going to go in here. So if you go into your top gear in your raid bots and then just select all great vault items, it'll just pop those up for you. And you go down to the bottom and we're just going to do a patchwork one slice for 5 minutes. And we'll just see if any of those are any good for us. And I will come back to this later. On to the Paladin. So I did run the raid on the Druid, the Paladin, the Monk, and the Death Knight this week. Didn't run it on the Demon Hunter or the Warrior though. I wanted to, but between trying to get Mythic Plus done on them and Mythic Plus done on everything else, I just didn't have enough time. If I didn't have a job, then I might have. But because I have to work, I have to do stuff. And we're not going for Holy, we're gonna go for Ret. Alright, so it says that the Magma Scale is my biggest increase there. And then the next after that would be upgrading my gloves on my Monk. Gloves are a 78 DPS increase, more or less. The Magma Scale is pretty big. Interestingly, in interestingly enough, the Netherian's Call to Dominance isn't very good at all. Anyway, back to our pieces here. So we have a helm piece that we can't use yet. Probably use it in the vault. We got a Haste Mastery ring, 437, that we probably won't replace either of our current trinket or rings with. We have another helm, which we won't use because we have this one. Then we have a heroic chromatic essence, which I think is pretty good for Paladin. And then we have a pocket anvil. So for this one, it's pretty simple. We're just going to go to Wowhead real quick and just check and see which one of these trinkets is better, because I'm not really going to be betting on the what do you call it? I'm not really going to be betting on the catalyst yet on these characters. So you just go Bisgear, and I'm curious because I could upgrade this to the top of the hero track and it would be pretty good. So it looks like the pocket anvil is pretty good for Paladin. The Elementium pocket, but it's only champion. It looks like the ominous chromatic essence is pretty good too. So yeah, it looks like for trinkets, it's funny because the class trinket is actually pretty good for Paladin. In fact, it says it's BIS. You run the specific class trinket with the Beacon to Beyond. But I think with this particular vault, this is probably going to be the best item that we can grab, because we can upgrade this to 441 and roll with that. And then I'm curious how good the trinket is for our Brewmaster. Neltharian's Call to something. It's really bad. Passive haste for a Brewmaster. What if it's good for Windwalker? It's an A tier. You like agility, but you don't like the haste on it, so it's not great, but you won't use it if you get the other two trinkets from the raid. The interesting thing is that the Dragonfire Bomb Dispenser is a 1200 or 1800 DPS increase for me, but I won't use it if I get the any of the other trinkets, which is interesting. What did I end up grabbing on this character? I grabbed the Ominous Chromatic Essence, which we can go ahead and just toss on for that one. Then we'll log out and go to our next character, Aobaloo the Druid. Some difficult choices this week for items. I guess it's more of like a knowledge thing, just understanding what trinkets are good and not. I don't think I'm gonna grab the scale on my monk, but I don't think there's anything really like good for upgrading, if that makes sense. So I might end up grabbing a socket on that character too and just starting to socket it out. I think we're gonna go Feral for this one. Okay. Champion chest. So that's tier. Shoulders with haste first on them that we won't use, and some pants with leech on them that are also champion track. Or a 441 cape. I'm definitely just gonna go for the tier for now on this character, because that'll give me 3 pieces, and that means I'll only need to get 1 more piece to have 4 pieces on this character. It's pretty good, pretty good. I usually prioritize getting tier, and then trinkets, and then weapons are kind of like the priorities, and then everything else after that. Tier really depends on the class too, but I think all the tier bonuses are fairly good for most of the tanks. Particularly Druid. I've heard the 4 pieces really strong. Hop on the Demon Hunter. Maybe opening is Havoc. Gloves of Haze and a ring. Well, I got this, or I got a ring that's similar like a week ago, but you run the Annulet on almost every tank. So I think I'm going to... Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab these gloves, and then I'll just save them for the Catalyst, because I can't wear them right now because of tier bonus. Got a Brackenhide on this character. I'm curious what keys I got on these two. But we'll run and grab our last vault for this week is our warrior here. I just woke up, so I'm kind of a little not quite in it right now, but kind of a lackluster week for our vaults. But that's okay, it happens. Open it up for Fury. Some boots, Hero Track boots, or Hero Track cape. Capes are pretty easy to grab, but it's a bit higher. But it's just the track. So we'll go ahead and grab some boots. I think they got Abyss stats on them too, so we can upgrade these to 441 eventually. Toss Watcher's Loam on those real quick. Should be pretty good then. 395 to what is that? 431. Let's go. Pretty big upgrade, like 40 item levels or something. So we'll go Watchers Loam. Yeah, we'll go ahead and toss a big enchant on those. That's fine. And we'll just gotta go back to the monk real quick and grab. I think it'll be a socket on that character too. Maybe the gloves, 444 gloves, because that is a big upgrade. Probably better than a socket. Actually, yeah, I'll probably just grab the gloves because I can grab the trinket. From just doing Mythic Plus and upgrading it myself. And 444 is higher than what you can get in general. So yeah, we grab some we grab these 444 gloves here. Give us a pretty big upgrade on those. We could go for this, but it's a haste piece too, so we'll just go for the Verse Mastery piece. Just seeing that crit verse is what you want here. Mastery isn't bad either, so. And this trinket isn't really good for either of the specs that we're playing, so even though it's very rare. Kind of sucks, but yep, we're just gonna go for the fists, upgrade those. Put those on. Alright, what's our monk sitting at? 440 equipped. Not too shabby. Just gotta replace our couple more pieces here to the hero track and we'll be able to get those to 441, and that'll probably bring us to 441 equipped. And I guess that'll be it for this week's Lazy Great Vault opening. Nothing too crazy. I need to retransmog my shovel transmog. And that'll be it. The shovel is coming. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Nothing too crazy this week, but we'll keep at it. I was trying to get more slots this week, so it'd be a little bit more interesting. And we did get some items, pretty big upgrades on some characters, like tier and trinkets and stuff like that. A couple sockets, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.